Famed Higurashi When They Cry creator Ryukishi says he worked so hard on the Silent Hill F story that I don't think I would mind if it was the last thing I ever wrote. It sounds like Silent Hill F is going to be really, really sad. So, this is an article I seen a while back, but I did want to do a video on it just because, I did do my trailer reaction to Silent Hill F, and I thought it looked great. I thought it looks like it's going to be a really good story, and the fact that it's set in Japan really gives it that kind of creepy vibe to it with, the Japanese aesthetics and everything like that, which I really appreciate. So seeing that this is going to be, one of the creators behind it and it's going to be something that's really sad. I don't know, man. I'm like wanting to play this game and I'm going to try to see about picking it up when it does release. But seeing something like this, it's like, God damn it, man. You know what I mean? Just because it is one of those situations where I'm a person that I can watch like sad movies and stuff like that, and I will really get into them. I end up, you know what I mean, getting really emotional and stuff like that myself whenever I watch it. So something like this, when it comes down to a game, I don't mind it at all. But it is gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna be like, man, is this just gonna have a horrible ending and it's gonna be sad throughout the whole thing, kind of a situation? More than likely, yes, from what this article is talking about. But still, more than likely, I'm probably going to be picking it up just to at least check it out. Because, like I said, I think the gameplay looks really good, and the overall aesthetic of it is something that I would like to see in general. So, per usual, I'll just go ahead and go over the article here, and then I'll give my thoughts as we go along. So, well, everyone, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that Silent Hill F writer Ryukishi07, who created the beloved horror manga series When They Cry, says he worked so hard on the upcoming survival horror video game that he doesn't care if it's the last thing he ever writes. The bad news is, well, that is also the bad news because it pretty much confirms that Silent Hill F is going to be terribly depressing. Now, for myself, I've never read the manga series When They Cry, so I'm not too sure how like the stories are in that and everything. So, if there are any fans out there of that series and all that type of stuff, if you guys could let me know like in the comments what's the deal about it and everything like that, I'd really appreciate it because like I said, I never read it and I've actually never even heard about it. So, if it's one of those stories where it's like it has nothing but a bunch of sad stories in it, then yeah, I feel like that'll kind of go with this game really well, I guess. So, whether or not that's a good or bad thing is entirely subjective, of course, but for me, there is a limit to how dark a horror story can be before it becomes unpleasant to experience. It's a forgiving limit, with deeply unsettling games like The Last of Us 2 and Silent Hill 2 being some of my favorite ever, but there it is. As for Ryukishi '07's work, let's just say the When They Cry series approaches that limit very closely. And that's one of the things. I've never played The Last of Us Part 2, but I know how the game pretty much goes. So hearing that type of depression is like, oh god. And then Silent Hill 2, that's another one I've never played, and I don't really know the story behind that one, so I can't really say myself. But yeah, from what they're stating here in the article, it does seem like, they do kind of have a lot of sad stories as far as the When They Cry series, so that's going to be pretty interesting. So, anyways, Ryukishi07 had this to say about writing the story of Silent Hill F. To this day, I remember the feeling of my first encounter with the strangling and oppressing atmosphere of Silent Hill. It still deeply haunts me and it still utterly fascinates me. It's an honor to find myself involved with the series I have so many memories with. I've poured all my efforts into this story, so much so that I don't think I would mind if it was the last thing I ever wrote. And that's really cool. You know what I mean? Hearing that type of stuff because you got to appreciate someone that not only is a fan of the franchise and the series, but really shows kind of with what they're saying that they really do want to kind of give it their all and do their best in regards to the franchise itself, which is always a good thing. I think that's really cool to hear. So, Ryukishi '07 is an acclaimed horror writer, no doubt, but his body of work is a little inconsistent. So, despite my fears that it's going to leave Silent Hill F severely depressed, it is definitely encouraging to hear him speak so passionately about the game. And yeah, that is one of the cool things. Whenever you hear someone that's able to work on something, whether that's like, a video game, a movie, a TV show, something like that, where they do kind of have that passion and that love for it. So, the fact that the individual who wrote the story is a fan themselves of the games, has memories of it from when they were younger, that is leaving me even more wanting to kind of see what this game is about and what's going to come of it when it is released and everything like that. So, and like I've stated before, I'm not a Silent Hill person. I've never played those games, so I can go back and play the original type of games with like the fixed camera angles and stuff like that because that is in my wheelhouse of kind of gaming from back in the day. But yeah, I would definitely want to pick this game up first and just check it out, see what it's about, and then kind of go backwards more or less from there. I don't know if there's going to be any connection between this game and the other previous games, but I mean, to me, I'd still want to at least try this one out first just to kind of see what it's about and see how it goes and everything like that. So, really cool to hear. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting story to be hearing if it's going to be like a really sad one at that. So, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. For any Silent Hill fans out there, are you guys excited to hear this news, even though it'll probably end up being terribly depressing by the end of it? Does this sound like something that would be right up there with the Silent Hill series altogether? So if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.